I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hey y'all, it's Brian Sandoz back again with another episode of Quarantine with the Stars here on AfterBuzz TV. Today I am joined by an incredible award-winning actor and filmmaker starring in the riveting crime drama Hammer. This is Mark O'Brien. Mark, thanks for being here.
Hey, thanks so much for having me.
Super excited. Let's just jump right in. I want to talk about all the exciting things you have going on, especially what you're doing during quarantine. So I want to just talk about what's happening in the world right now, of course. So I saw that you were very vocal in your stance in support of the Black Lives Matter movement on your Instagram. You even attended one of the peaceful protests the other day. So what was it like being out there on the front lines?
It was amazing. It was very eye-opening, very different than I thought it was going to be in a number of ways. I realized that we all, I mean, good people that I know who want this change and think that it needs to happen. Unfortunately, that's not everybody. But I think a lot of us have been searching for what to do and what is the right thing to do. And I've seen some great posts, particularly from Malcolm Jamal Warner, where he said it's up to you what you want to do. And I felt like I just really wanted to be in touch with this moment too, to be there and to be and to protest, because the Black Lives Matter movement means a lot to me. My heroes growing up, I'm from Newfoundland, which is primarily a very white place. All my heroes were African American, always growing up, from Tupac Shakur to Will Smith to the Roots to Wu-Tang to RZA and just on and on and on and on. So it means so much to me, and so I just felt like I was like, I have to be there. I have to support this thing. It's really in my bones to be a part of it. And then when I got there, it was so wild because I don't think I've even been to a protest before. And it was just amazing to see thousands and thousands of people, because it was in Hollywood, just there for something good. Just that many people there for something that's just good, and it's the right thing to do. And it's not. There's every right to be angry, and people are angry. But when you go to the protest, I didn't feel anger. I felt like we can move forward, and this is something that's going to be a good change. And so instead of all that kind of anger and confusion that so many people feel that I can't fully understand, it felt positive being there, because it is happening, it is changing. So it was a beautiful moment that has really informed a lot of my life moving forward.
That's amazing. I'm so happy to hear that. Besides, using your platform for good and supporting these protests, how else are you kind of keeping busy and staying safe in quarantine?
Well, that's a whole other kettle of fish. It's been interesting, but you know what? Like, it's kind of like what I was just talking about. We're all going through this kind of moment of realizing things that we didn't know before. And I'm such a workhorse. I'm always working, and I'm always interested in work. And I love what I do so much. But I also have a wife and I have a daughter. And not that I think I take them for granted, certainly not actively, but you realize like just how important it is to just be together. And there were certain days in the beginning of the quarantine where, you're still in that kind of hustle kind of mode. And after a while, I learned to just sit there and just be there with my family and not be on your phone and not be waiting for the next thing or planning the next job or what have you. And so it's been really nice just being with my family. And then with this whole movement that's happening, it's being aware of that, which probably wouldn't have been as prominent in our lives if we didn't have sports, we didn't have movies. You know what I mean? It was like we are finally forced to really listen. So aside from that, I write a lot. So I'm writing a lot. And kind of like I said, spending time with family, but it's been eye-opening. I feel really fortunate.
That's great. Honestly, I always say that too, with a silver lining with all this craziness, whether it be COVID or everything else, it's really just being able to kind of look introspectively and spend time with family and kind of just take time to reset from, life's craziness. So I love that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Hammer. I got a chance to watch the movie last night. It was riveting. It was really, really great. What did you love most working on that project?
Well, the writer-director, Christian Sparks, has been a friend of mine for like 15 years. So when he called me and he said, do you want to do this thing? I was like, yes, absolutely. Because one of my things in life and this whole business is like, I want to work with friends. I want to have a good time. I want to enjoy my life. I want to enjoy my art. I was talking to, this is a little off topic, but still, I was talking to an actor friend of mine not long ago, and we were like, why is it that like we're desperate to act? Actors want to act so bad and directors want to direct so bad. Yet if you're writing or directing on something that's not something you believe in, it's worse than being home on the couch. Somehow it sucks you of your creative drive because it's not what you wanted to do. And this was the exact opposite of that. I felt really strongly connected to the material, and working with Christian and telling a story that's a genre piece in a way, like a crime thriller, but it's actually saying much more than that, about family and about relationships and all the things that are left unsaid in our familial relationships. And getting to work with Will Patton, who I've been a fan of since we all just love Will Patton, and we don't know it until we see him again. We're like, oh yeah, I love that guy.
Right.
So it was great in a lot of ways.
Love that. Any fun stories from working with Will on set? Did you guys have a lot of fun?
We did. There was one scene. Well, you've seen the film. There are quite a lot of scenes of us in a car together driving.
Yes.
And Will could never ever find. It was a very old vehicle. He could never find the reverse shift.
Oh.
So every single time we'd be like going forward, and I was just like, and he was getting frustrated. So I just had to not laugh, and I mean hundreds of times. And there's one scene we did where we are frustrated with one another. And my God, we kept driving around, and we were actually driving, because sometimes you don't drive, you get driving moves, you get towed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we were driving, and we must have done that scene 35 times, because every time we'd start driving again around this loop, it would be like construction, and then a horn honking, and then a dog barking, and then a glider coming in, and then like it was just like, oh my God. So it was crazy. And also in those cornfields, it was a challenge. Corn husks, they like scrape you. And
I'm sure. Yeah, they're huge and they're like sharp.
It's brutal. Like I was like, cornfields are not conducive to shooting. So those were kind of the challenges, but we had a great time because we were all on the same page.
That's amazing. Before we switch gears, I know you kind of mentioned a little bit about, the different themes in the movie, but what do you want fans to kind of take away after watching it?
Really, I think that's a good question always to ask. And mine is always different because I want fans to take away something that I couldn't see coming. That's kind of what I like a fan to take away from a movie, where they're like, it actually made me think of this. Because you're like, oh, that's great. That's what's beautiful about art. That's what's beautiful about movies and books. And everyone gets something slightly different from it. Mm-hmm. But on the surface, you are trying to communicate something. So on top of it all, I think it's really important, like I said, like the things that are left unsaid in these tight relationships that can ruin a relationship or let it just go dry for so long. And it's so important to just say how you feel and try and make amends with the people you love.
I love that. Well, I didn't see the ending coming, so that was definitely, you guys achieved that. Because I was like, okay. I love that. Let's talk about some of your other TV roles. Last year you starred on City on a Hill. What did you love most about that project?
That character, that's just such a great character. I mean, he's so live wire, he's so wild, he's so unlike me. So it was great to play like, a Boston criminal who's also, has his own litany of problems. But on top of it all, I love the role. I love the people involved. Kevin Bacon is a hero, and he is everything you want him to be. He's a wonderful professional. Jonathan Tucker, who plays my brother, we've become great friends since then. And my wife also worked on the show with me too, Georgina Reilly. So I got to work with some people I really loved already, and some people I grew to love, getting to know them. And I just like that crew. I really respect them, Aldous Hodge and Lauren Banks and Amanda Clayton. It was just a really, really good group of people.
I love that. I'm looking for more things to watch in quarantine. I mean, we're kind of opening up now, so we have more time, but City on the Hill is definitely on my list, so I'll check that out. Mark, before we head out of here, anything else we can expect from you? What can fans expect from you when this is all over?
Well, I'll probably have a bit more of a tan because I'll leave the house a bit more. But I think I wrote and directed and starred in a film that I'm currently in post-production on right now called The Righteous. So that'll be released later this year, hopefully. So I'm very excited about that. That kind of takes up a lot of my days. And I did a film called Blue Bayou, written and directed by Justin Chon, great director, great actor as well, with Alicia Vikander. So that comes out, I guess, later this year, because COVID kind of put a question mark on a lot of things. Mm-hmm. And aside from that, I'm writing a lot and everything, but I'm really looking forward to Blue Bayou and The Righteous getting released because I'm very proud of them.
Amazing, super exciting. And where can fans find you on social media to kind of keep up with you? I'm on
Instagram at Mark O'Brien Faux Real. And then I'm on Twitter at Mark O'Brien NL. The NL is for Newfoundland, where I'm from. Very proud.
I love that. Are you on TikTok?
I'm not on TikTok. TikTok is the first time I've ever felt like an old man. I'm like, what is this thing? What are the kids doing? I don't know what they're on. So I'm so confused
fun.
by it.
You should get on. Honestly, I can spend hours like just watching because the things on there are just like outlandish. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, that's what everyone tells me, but I'm like, I feel like I'm using dial-up when I see TikTok. Yeah.
I love that. That's amazing. Well, I'm your host, Brian Santos. You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at the Brian Santos. This has been Quarantine with the Stars with Mark O'Brien. Mark, it's been such a pleasure to have you. Super excited to see what you have coming out next. Everybody make sure you follow Mark on his social platforms. Keep up with him. And we will see you all next time. Bye.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.